All right. Oh, wait. She's. All right. Let's get started. Cheers.
Okay.
Please, glasses up. Glasses up.
Okay. We cheers to Kath.
We are cheersing to, of course, pickleball and pick me bitches. All right. All right.
You are now watching Mind You Media.
Mind you!
We can't use that. We don't have the rights. You are now streaming Mind You Media. Another episode breakdown of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Dead.
Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay. Episode
Already
4.
over it. She's already over the season.
No, I really am. And we're going to get into that later in the episode. But I have thoughts and others have thoughts as well. Okay. This is hard to watch. I was turning my head a number of times and that is my truth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I was reminiscing on the Atlanta days.
Are not compelling these days themselves. Yeah.
I know. I just no. But let's start off with a little episode recap.
Okay.
Kristen, I challenge you. I challenge you to recap the episode in 1 minute.
All right, you got me? You got me on a timer? I'm going.
Yes, you will be interrupted. I will start. I'll go like this when you have, just a few seconds left.
Got it. All right. I'm gonna endeavor to make it happen. Here we go. You ready?
All right. On your mark. Get set. Go.
All right. Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 4. First, we meet Nneka and her man, or husband, I should say, Ikenna, known as Ike, because she's invested in making it easy for us.
That's right.
Nneka picks him up from the airport and they are discussing their new life in Potomac. Of note, we see Nneka being very thirsty and eager that Karen invites her to pickleball. And we also hear her call Wendy aggressive. We'll have to come back to that one. Moving along, we then see Robin and Gizelle meet for lunch, and it is tense. The friends, there is trouble in friendship paradise. Okay, Gizelle informs Robin of a conversation she had with Juan that did not go too well. It's already been a minute. Okay.
I was waiting to drop the news that you failed miserably at this time. It's
You're eating into my time.
You ate into her time.
My time. Okay.
All right, keep on.
Then we see Candace sit down with Dot, good old Dot, her mom, at her home. We haven't seen Dot all season, so hello. And it's a very lovely little catch-up conversation between mom and daughter. And we just see a little bit more grown kind of respect going on between the two of them. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Finally, the lion's share of the episode is devoted to the pop-off at pickleball. Okay. Where so much transpires. It's a couples event hosted by Ray Huger and Karen. We get a Juan appearance. We get Nneka's nasty ass anti-Black sentiments about Wendy and her mother's religious practices. We see G and Mia arrive in separate cars. We see so much. So there's more to say. There's more to say. There's more to discuss. But it's a rich, wealthy text of an episode.
We love a rich text.
It's too much. It's too much. Okay, can we start with, though, you piqued my interest with the Nneka and Ikenna. Okay, so tell us a little more about that. What's going on? You can speak Ellen if you would like.
Well, I think it might be useful to recall, right? Like a lit review moment, shall we? That, as Kristen pointed out, Nneka calls Wendy aggressive, calls Wendy and her family aggressive. And we all know, given how utterly thirsty Nneka has already proven herself to be in the span of only 4 episodes. We all know she has seen every episode of the franchise ever. Okay. So she knows aggressive has a history here. Like, So for our lit review, let us recall, frankly, the first time to my mind that the term is used is when Monique, fan favorite, not me, I don't like her. Okay. Monique calls Candace aggressive a few seasons ago, and she's doing it in the context of ingratiating herself to the light skins. And it's like, okay, anyway. Now, I think it's important to say, I just want to take the opportunity to say, like, aggressive. Oh, it's a word that might be descriptive of behaviors that seem like forceful or like whatever. We live in a world where that is a buzzword, a watchword for a like set of behaviors that we would condemn when we see them on Black people, right? So it's like this person speaks in a certain aggressive, like, right? That was like the key word that the plantation mistress uses to get her enslaved lover lynched. Okay. I don't know if I said aggressive back then, but we get it. That's the fucking context.
Whoever says aggressive says brute, which is what the plantation mistress.
Exactly. To like demonize Black people and their behaviors for any range, very human responses. That's the point, right? Like the point is not that like people do not demonstrate aggressivity. The point is that it's too fucking easy to call Black people aggressive for some behaviors that, if replicated elsewhere, in white people, we would not call them aggressive, or in a way that totally decontextualize what might be an offense for which an impassioned response is due, right? Like, why don't we say impassioned? Why can't we say that?
Well, we can't say impassioned because the economy of this show might be like best typified by Robin Dixon is I don't care. So one need not be too impassioned because then that makes you look like you're thirsty or something.
Yeah. However, we did have that conversation about I don't care and like the like popularity of a presentation of indifference, you know, among Black people, and we still need to make that episode devoted to I don't care because it's a thing. But for sure, NECA is like attempting to write the story of Wendy and her family as Black brutes, and it begins when she says, I mean, it started last episode because she said that shit to Robin as well.
But it's sad. Go on.
Well, she also said wildly in that little moment at the beginning of the episode that Wendy wears both the skirt and the pants. Another like famed strategy of like dehumanization, as if you might want to say, or at least just like condemnation, is like you're both the man and the woman, Wendy. No, if anyone knows Wendy Osefo, what her primary strategy is to be hyper femme perfection, you know, like trading on family. Like where are you getting the idea that she wears the pants and the skirt, NECA?
Right. Yeah, but it's also a way to disparage Eddie, right? And that was actually her dominant intention. Well, who knows? Let's split her intention. On the one hand, to masculinize Wendy in an attempt to disparage her, and on the other hand, to feminize Eddie in an attempt to disparage him, right? Like it's like I've never heard this expression, the skirt and the pants. Like, you mean where's the, like, I don't know.
Usually people say like, we know who wears the pants in this relationship, but she wanted to just attack Wendy's gender. And I feel like what's sick about that and the aggressive comment is it's like she knows that people will clamor around these attacks because they feel the same way, and not even her like fellow cast members, but the general audience. I feel like people are like, yep, aggressive, been aggressive since day one, blah blah blah, because they've already been thinking in their head like, oh, brute.
And how many times in my life has someone said to me in the context of a romantic relationship, you're the one who wears the pants, you know, literally in order to say like, are you self-assured? You must be like a man. Like, oh, okay. Like, you know, it's written there across the fucking page. The point is that if you come off with any level of conviction, you're manlike.
If you why
are we relegating conviction and self-assuredness to men only?
Great question, because they're confused.
Because men are confused, or
I was thinking men are confused, but as I was saying, everybody's confused. They're confused. Okay. But you also were talking about Robin and Giselle. people not caring. Somebody cares. So, like, what's going on with Robin and Giselle?
Well, we learned that Robin and Giselle were recently in Atlanta for a live show of Reasonably Shady, their podcast. Though our resident close reader here, Ellen, noted one specific thing about the way Giselle introduced that tidbit of information.
This was
she
good.
in the confessional, they cut to her in the confessional, and she's like, okay, Robin was in Atlanta with his wife. It's like, Giselle, why you take a beat? Why you take a beat to say that?
A
right?
pregnant pause.
The point of which is to say, now the man is doing his, because we all know Juan is doing his. What did Wendy say later in the episode? Like, I thought he would be in Canada or something speaking French.
Yeah, speaking French. Imagine Juan speaking French.
The point is that Juan is like internationally known for his, affairs. And I really do believe that was Giselle attempting to shade her friend. And I hope that is a sign of the dissolution of the friendship. We can only hope, because they're nasty together.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. For whose sake will that friendship dissolve?
Both, and the viewers.
For all
And
parties.
they're victims on the show. People have been victimized by the Green-Eyed Bandits. And I feel like, the cast members have the most to gain. All right.
Apparently Juan had strong words for Giselle, but Giselle interestingly cared not to share what the content of those words were.
Yeah.
A very noticeable turn from last season, when she was happy to over-index a conversation she had with Chris as problematic, as uncomfortable, as inappropriate, but you don't want to share the details of what you and Juan discussed, and he's the husband of your best friend.
I feel like that speaks to, I think that Giselle is really hurt by Robin not receiving any of Giselle's feedback. I think that she is realizing, like, wait, we're not as close as I thought. Like, I always thought we were on the same page, but like, I thought we were exchanging, and this actually isn't an exchange.
Yeah. And I think it's also like I think what else makes Giselle feel that way is that she's like, so you would let your husband talk to me any kind of way? Like it's one thing for you to have this, like, me and Juan against the rumors or whatever disposition or mentality, but given the like history of our friendship, why have you not corrected your husband's, like, and frankly, I would feel the same. If we're keeping it a buck, like, if your husband raises his voice at me or talks to me any kind of way, and you're just like, no, he has hearing problems. The problem is he doesn't hear good because of all the coaching. It's like, and if that man takes his hand across my face, is that also because of too many years coaching?
Like directing the players, so his hand can sometimes miss its target.
No, it's a slippery slope. That is what she's about to justify next.
Well, you know what's interesting is, like, I think Giselle fairly sees like this invulnerability with Robin, which is, like, I would be annoyed at this woman who's supposed to be my best friend kind of like leading with the story, even in relation to me. And it's funny because Giselle is famously invulnerable herself, but now we're seeing her met with her friend wielding invulnerability against their intimate dynamic too. And so I just, it'll be interesting to see like what this means for the rest of the season, because it's like, okay, what's a friendship if both of y'all have your walls up,
Yeah. And but classic 8, like,
that's what I was about to say.
Classic 8 is like, Giselle gives us a classic 8 moment. She's like, discussing with Robin that Grace is gonna leave for college, right? Like in a short amount of time, she's gonna be out of the house. And you can see that there's like a special kind of favoritism doled out for Grace particularly. So I can imagine Giselle is suffering, right? And instead of like sharing with her friend the kind of like sadness, hurt, despair that this thing is raising for her, she's like, let's not talk about it. Robin's like, okay. You know what I mean? And I will say, to to bring us back to the record, the historical record, right? Like another lit review moment. Don't forget that episode, that hot mic episode where Juan said, we were talking about this with Katherine, right? And Katherine was like, oh my God, I instantly felt sad for Juan because they're asking Juan in like some room, like, how are you feeling? It's like, I can't do this for much longer. I want somebody to share my life with.
That's all we want.
Katherine became Team Juan at that moment.
Literally, me too, though. Me too, because you can only imagine what it is like to relate to someone for that long who is so guarded. And frankly, I think in that same episode, no, this was last season. Juan is like, we got to grow our relationship. And she was like, no, we need to get married soon. And it's like, no, what I mean is like, I would like us to grow our closeness before I once again rekindle that level of commitment to you because I don't feel safe with you. That's clearly what's going on here. And you can see that happen between Giselle and Robin as well. Like they are growing apart because the trust is literally not there. And every time Robin makes an excuse for Juan, especially if he's going to yell at her friend, Giselle becomes more and more assured that she can't trust this woman and she won't share herself with her.
Yep.
And going back to Giselle being an 8, like, yes, that moment when Juan is yelling at her is like, obviously a significant moment. But she's humiliated in that moment, but she's humiliated in the dynamic between her and Robin. She's humiliated because Robin is humiliated. It's like Robin is making a fool of herself. Yeah. Giselle is now so like tied into this person making a fool, and she's like totally not even willing to hear it. And Giselle's just like, I can't even talk about this because now I'm so like I'm spiraling because I'm being humiliated on Bravo.
Yep.
And as I, like in an attempt to make catchphrases for each Enneatype, I like have speculated that the 8th catchphrase is everything is me. So it's like Giselle identifies very strongly with Robin, right? Like it's hard to read it this way, but it's a gesture of care and love that she feels embarrassed for what Robin is doing. Like it might seem selfish, but it's kind of just like, we look bad, girl. We look bad. I'm right there with you, and we look bad.
And if I can't trust you with my feelings and emotions, I certainly can't trust you with the appearance. With appearances, with our appearances. Robin, you're walking around letting yourself look like a whole ass fool, even in the face of me telling you about yourself. Yeah. What am I supposed to be like? That's just superficial.
Because that might have been the like thing, that might have been the agreement between them. Like what we're gonna give persona wise is united front, green-eyed bandits. We don't give a fuck. We are unassailable, right? And it's like you can't even keep that up. You're embarrassing yourself. Like so, we're not about to get intimate. Like I'm not about to share with you my innermost feelings.
So moral of the story: RIP Robin and Giselle.
Yeah,
I know. I almost said Ronnie.
In a last-ditch effort to secure at least the appearance of a connection between the two, Robin instantly betrays her agreement with Nneka not to relay the information she told her about in telling it to Giselle.
And that's where you see the real misery that is now the only cohesive force of their friendship, just like a shared misery. Like, tell me things.
Foaming at the mouth.
And then that gives them the like, it's like a simulation of like, what our friendship, what we believed it to be.
Should we take up Candace and Dot real quick?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I forgot about them. Okay, and that go on.
No, I was just gonna say, I feel like there's like it's not like that. It feels like there's not much to say about and it's mostly because they show up as themselves, right? Like if there's a scene involving Candace, she's not masking, she's not hiding things. There's not that much to read between the motherfucking lines because there's mostly just like candor and openness. You know what I mean? Like she's showing up as she is. That's not a perfect thing, but it's kind of like how you don't fault somebody for like being true to themselves. I feel like that's the like most we can ask for out of anyone,
I would say
on a reality TV show, definitely.
In that dynamic too, it's like I feel like we were watching Candace in exchanging with Dot about like when she's like, well, what's the thing with Robin? Are y'all gonna make up or whatever? You kind of see like earnest questioning coming from
Yeah.
Candace. Like, what am I supposed to do with somebody like lie? And I was like, yeah, people lie. It's almost saying, she's almost saying like,
I really appreciated
what?
that.
So
Me
where do
too.
you go from there? Yeah, people lie.
Candace like, well, adults don't lie, and her mother said, yes,
Yes, they do.
They're
some main liars.
Yes, they do.
She said, I just
They
love
are the
like,
main liars.
my favorite moment of Dot in like 12 seasons or whatever, right? Like, yes, I do.
No, that's
Are you
so true.
kidding? She's like, I'm a therapist. I would know. They do lie.
But yeah, no, that was
That's
an
mostly
honest
who lies.
convo. It was honest from the moment, Dot walks in and Candace is putting detergent.
She said, this is how I live. She said, these dishes gonna get clean.
But I have actually tell people that you can't do that because I thought I had learned a new strategy watching that. And you're
People, you
telling
can't do
me-
that. Okay, we're not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's a recipe for your dishwasher to start foaming, and spilling into your kitchen.
But that's how you know it's
I
clean.
wouldn't do it.
I can't see what's going on in there without the foams coming out.
Sometimes you have to trust, Kristen. Sometimes you have to trust. Okay.
No, but I have the experience, and clearly Candace does too, of taking it out and your trust has been betrayed because there's still tea.
Have you made sure your jet dry dispenser is totally filled?
No.
Okay, baby girl. Okay. No, I have not. That's your first priority. Make sure your jet dry dispenser is filled, okay?
Okay.
I remember it was last season when when Mia threw that drink at Wendy and like everybody was saying it was Wendy's fault, Robin was saying, I was just like, enough. Like, is the world gonna co-sign this? Like, luckily there was enough discourse to critique Wendy and the nastiness, but I'm just like, we gotta watch dark-skinned women get thrown drinks at for no reason. Like,
yeah, you mean to critique Robin and the nastiness? Robin and Mia.
Robin and Mia is dumb, nasty, reactionary. It's a fair point, I think, about the more intense but mystified anti-Blackness of fiction TV or whatever. But I think there is something that, because it feels real, I'm just like, no, I know. I'm hiding it. I'm hiding myself.
Right, exactly. And what else can we do? It's an adaptive strategy to live in a world where it's and I do not fuck with colorist. As the minute I identify somebody colorist, I go, I will not spend time with you. Of course, you create a little place to be kind of safe, no psychic sanctuary, shout out to Frank, but you do try to create something that feels a little more cushiony or comfortable. And I find, the way I know that is because I be jarred as fuck when I'm out in the world and people say some shit. I go, huh? You still talking like that? Don't be stupid. And then, but it's not, and then I have to go, Ellen, you have so created a bubble for yourself where you only hear, what's it called? Echo chamber? That's nonsense. Yeah. I create a world for myself where my existence is affirmed, right? I don't situate myself in the company of Black people who are so intensely anti-Black, who have so internalized anti-Blackness that it's just I'm wincing every time I'm around them, and I need that for my well-being, sanity, but it's not real. It's not real. The Black people have also internalized anti-Blackness, and it's not their fucking fault. They're victims of it. It's by design. So it's actually productive to be reminded of it.
Yeah,
painful but productive.
Was it 2 weekends ago when me and Lex went out, for the first time in mad long, we went to a bar that he used to go to a lot, and we ran into one of his friends walking in the door, and he had this man, a brown-skinned Black man with the little twist, whatever, he had a little twist, but looking like A$AP Rocky kind of thing.
Locks or something?
Just he just had his hair braided, I should say. They were braided.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
like ASAP. And we walked in and he was like, yeah, this man, he's joning on me. He's talking about I look like Exhibit. And we're laughing. And he's like, I don't even as dark as him, man. I was like, oh God. Like, it was like walking straight into the door before we could even get into the bar proper. It's like, no, I thought you were going to be exasperated with that because you don't look like Exhibit. You just have the braids. But it's like, I'm not even as dark as him. Exhibit is dark and you're brown. Like, what are you talking about? Shut up. Like,
yeah.
Let's go home. Let's go home now.
Well, no, speaking of dark though, also on this note, like one thing that is alarming to me, and it's being committed by some of my faves, but everyone does it. It's not like it's necessarily intentionally undertaken. But people use dark to make reference to something not good, to something evil and bad, even when they're talking about a context where colorism has been put on the table, even when they're critics of colorism, it's like dark. I'm like, no, everyone, you have to realize, like, we're shoring up the colorisms most exemplified by someone like Giselle and Robin, but still present when we say like that took a dark turn, like the show's getting dark, or like those people are like, it's there.
I'm always surprised. That'll be the thing that slaps me when I'm in conversation and I'll just be talking and someone, oh, that was dark. It's like, I'm surprised that whatever I said was dark. But then also that's like, how you can
the answer. And it's always offensive to me. You know, I'm like, your mother. I mean, wait. Like, I'm like, what? Oh, no.
Well, speaking of dark and mother, we heard Wendy use that language to disavow the accusations against her. Like, there's nothing dark about it. Okay, there's nothing dark. There's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong.
And that's precisely what, Mama Sue is trading on. She said, I can't have my complexion reflect that which is evil in the world, right? Like,
I got to be as white as my savior, Jesus.
No, I do believe there's something where she's like modeling herself after, like, that iconic image of white Jesus.
That is not funny at all.
No, it's not. It's tragic because the contacts are blue, the skin is white, and then there's just like strong identification with Jesus, which, okay, I'm Catholic. Catholics don't go that hard for Jesus. I don't know if the other denominations. Okay,
they do, but Catholics do not. Catholics are deep in their shrines. Catholics are big on
the Virgin Mary. Yes, Catholics are big on the Virgin Mary. Catholics are big on saints. And once, disclaimer: I'm not Catholic. I was raised Catholic, but I consistently sing Sister Regina's song so often in my adult life that I forget I'm not Catholic. I was raised Catholic. And it's like there's not a lot of Jesus. So the mom thing, it's like it's even more obvious. She has a strong identification with Jesus. And if Catholicism does invoke Jesus ever, that man is brown-haired and blue-eyed and white as the day is long. So her idea of Jesus.
Well, that's other denominations definitely are addicted to like Jesus, baby Jesus, teen Jesus, but it's like Catholics took up other culture. Like, there's a reason there are shrines.
There's the shrines. Like,
exactly. And they want to use Catholicism to say, no, we're so pure. We're not doing voodoo at all. It's like,
and then Wendy was like, the only shrine I know of is in Baltimore. It's like, you're not even Catholic then. There's a shrine everywhere. Like, in your church, in your local home church, there's probably 12 of them.
That's actually so
there's
true.
often nooks in a wall, and the Virgin Mary emblem is there. Exactly, candles. When you go do the prayer thing at church, that's a shrine. Hello.
That's why it's like, why did intelligent Wendy take the bait? It's like, girl, you just invoked a Catholic shrine when you said the only shrine I know about is in Baltimore. So why do you let Nneka's accusation then be something that you resist? It's like,
let's talk about why. Let's talk about why, Kristen. I think it's going to be an ugly fucking story because the insecurity is stronger than the intelligence.
Speak on it. It's true. It's true.
No, because somebody's saying, like, the things we're saying about Nneka, which are true, I think are true to a lesser extent about Wendy. I do believe they both don't feel like they can coexist. I do believe they both have some level of investment in tokenicity where it's just like, what I'm doing is selling prize Nigerian woman. So if there's another one here, then where's my niche, right?
And
like, where's
this
my
is-
cachet?
This is why her candles could not coexist with Karen's candles. Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, there's an argument to be made that Karen took the idea, but she claims
Karen
she
did
didn't.
take
Whatever.
the idea.
Yeah.
The candles
I don't
also
think-
they're overpriced.
I
Sorry.
don't think that's true, Katherine, because I think
know.
like I think there is a competitiveness over like the dark-skinned woman who like emblematizes Black excellence, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, oh my God, she's a lawyer. That's too much professional success. Like, you know, it's too close.
close
I
to
can still be her, but
intellectualism.
it's like it's too close for comfort. Like, you know, even though their pairings, their like spousal pairings reverse the thing, right? Like Wendy has the doctorate, Ikenna has the MD. It's the MD, right? He's a doctor. Eddie's the lawyer, Nneka is the lawyer. So it's like whatever. It's in that sense, I think she feels it is a direct coming for her neck. And I don't believe, like, it's not fun to say this, but I do believe it. I actually do believe it. And I think that's why she ends up floundering in these circumstances where Nneka is calling her out, like, oh, are you not, do you know me or do you not know me? Do you have animosity towards me or do you not? Did your family not call and issue vague threats or did they not? Like, of course, Nneka is nastier and one smells it on her once again, right? Like she's a valley girl. Like I don't know by what magic she ended up with another Nigerian man. Probably just because they both bonded over a certain kind of anti-Blackness. But you can see Nneka probably never had a Black friend in her life up to now.
1000%. She ran from them.
Much like her girl, Ashley.
Born as she was in Boston and raised as she was living as she once did in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay, that's important. Also, like we didn't take up the significance of being growing up in Boston.
I need more of her biography. I need to know where in Boston. I need to know everything.
And you know, the
people
Haitian
from
community in
Massachusetts
Boston is the Haitian community in Boston is strong, and perhaps how Nneka got by in childhood was being like, but I'm not Haitian.
That's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. Is there a lot of Black people in Boston, like in Dorchester, whatever, and they would not be like Nneka at all?
What do you mean?
Just like this, I would never question, oh, have you ever had Black friends? You know, like she is like not.
No, but Boston is tricky, Katherine. Boston is tricky. The like white supremacist climate is so fucking thick. It actually predispositions the Blacks to have acquired defense strategies that are just like, I don't really mess with Black people. Like I know a lot of, you know, self-haters / Valley girls from Boston.
No, I believe they exist. Exist, and that they were not with the other Black people.
Yeah, right. And of course, everywhere where there's a significant amount of Black people, then there are some who are like carving out a community where they have see themselves reflected and are fucking thriving. But Boston is so fucking thick with racism that I'm not surprised Nneka's from there.
And I can only imagine if she was a little striving, high performer, special snowflake, that was the way that she traded on distancing herself from Blackness as much as she could as a Nigerian woman. It's like, no, I'm not like those Blacks. You know, that's the same discourse of the high achieving Black that ingratiates themselves to whites.
Whoosh, whoosh, as my people would say. Whoosh.
Wendy.
Should we give the fashion award or
before getting
while we're on the topic?
Yeah, like so
we need to pivot to some light-skinned people that hate themselves, okay?
Prime among them.
We saw a lot of looks this episode, as
a lot of looks
episode,
and a lot of lookaways.
Yes, no, one of you said wincing earlier, and it's like yes, I don't want to feel like I'm wincing, and on so many levels I'm wincing. Okay, and the biggest wince goes to Robin, usually this season, but also that pickleball outfit.
Oh, girl. She was putting work with that one.
She thought, oh, y'all think my man don't want me? I'm gonna show you. And of course,
please don't show us. Please cover it up. Please,
I
ma'am.
know.
Fishnet is the strategy. Fishnet.
I don't want to be the person ever. I do not, even though it sounds like I'm being that person now, I'm not, who's saying like you're a mom. But I'm saying that because I'm like, imagine her son's like, mom, like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well,
fun day last season.
by the way, the sons are primed to sexualize Robin and that family. They used to smack her butt.
Well, you know, I read an article in the Washingtonian, and this was an old article, 2003, when Juan was like really on the come up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the little rags to riches, like new star player, blah blah blah.
What year was this?
2003.
Okay.
And they talked about how he has this new house and he lives, or I don't know if he said he lived. I think it said he lived with his girlfriend, Robin Bragg, and how everybody in his family called her Barbie. Yes, and the article was like because of her fair hair and her tall physique. Yes.
Link that shit. Link that shit.
Yes.
Meanwhile, that she was not going. Oh, but I can imagine she was reveling in that. She's not going for Barbie at all, but she's. You think so? Which is just. Oh.
Yes. And now I remember
the family of it all.
And everybody in the family, as in her, like her family.
No, not her family. And you know it can't be her family because her family is already consciously breeding light skins only, right? So it's like the idea. Robin's hair is not blonde, everyone. Her hair is brown. It's a tawny brown. It's a tawny brown, but that's not what color Barbie's hair is either. It's literally just a fetishization of a light-skinned woman by a family of brown skins. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all never see. I mean, no. Okay, fair. Like, this is why the light-skinned families inbreed for generations, because it doesn't have to be that unique. It doesn't have to be that rare. It will still be treated like a novelty.
Yes. And they interview her in this article, and they're like going through the rooms of the house, and it talks about how in one of the rooms there was like a bed shaped like a sleigh or something. Remember, like in
or
the
was
90s?
It a sleigh bed?
I'm pretty sure. What is that even?
Sleigh bed is like, there's a headboard and a footboard, and it might curve a little, but it's also a trundle bed normally. So there's a mattress component underneath that you pull out.
Okay, yes, that's probably what it was. I was thinking, remember when it was like those NASCAR car beds? I was thinking it was like that. Sort of, because her comment to the article was like, when Juan's family comes over, we want them to feel like they're in. I don't want to say she said Disney, but I feel like she said Disney. Like, we want them to feel like.
Katherine, I'm about to in the podcast and start.
Yes.
I got to do reconnaissance on this. No.
I'm gonna look it up. Right.
What? Okay. Ew. Okay, but like it all tracks in a certain kind of way. Were we talking?
And why is it when Juan's family comes over? She says when Juan's family comes over.
Yes, because they're not so used to such nice things, and we're really gonna make it feel special. That's what it is. And
Robin is such a busted and this is no shade. My mama shops at Ross, but Robin shops at Ross, so she better stop, okay? She better stop all this. Like, light skin doesn't equal super wealth, Robin, you're around the way ass B word if ever there was one.
A BJ's ass B word, if you will, according to Katherine.
Yes. But I guess this just goes to show, right? This just goes to show while she might have an investment in seeming down home, around the way, girl from around Jenny from the block, whatever. Like, people, even in the midst of deploying that strategy, be lit to do the other thing, the anti-black thing, where it's like, where can I find someone blacker than me to shit on to make them sound like poor, debased, downtrodden, right? Like, always to disidentify and white. It's like the family is, I mean, the strategy is in her family, right? Like, even if she was aiming for a different thing by getting with this man, by being a tomboy, you know, which we talked about last episode, she's still lit to do this. Like, because okay, I just need to know this one thing. And I've had many a conversation with light-skinned women, brown-skinned women, dark-skinned women who can attest to this. Like, in heterosexual relationships, what those women often understand is that a certain somebody in the relationship is bringing whiteness to the dynamic, and that's their chit, right? Like, that's the thing that exalts them. That's the thing that makes them desirable. And, you know, in like Black heterosexual relationships, it's often like the man looking for the woman to somehow bring whiteness into his fucking life. And it's like, that's what, even though that's not what Robin was going for, she's just like, oh, you're excited about me because I'm whitish. I'm gonna play that up. I'm gonna play that up.
Yes.
It's because playing it up then enables her also to like descend into Blackness as a thing that she plays too. Like, play the role. Like, it's what Ashley's doing. Like, I'm so white, I get to play Black. It's like
this paradox, right? Like, And I want it to look, I want it to be seen that I'm playing at it. I have to play at it.
It's not has to be a little bit bad. I have to like, I have to do my hair so that the braid part is in the middle and off center.
Kristen will never let this go, and I do not blame you. When Ashley had braids, like, it was last season.
Yeah.
Terrible fucking blonde.
With her big forehead, as Candace aptly names, and then it's like, oh, so you're parodying us, is what you're doing. You're saying, I'm gonna put a big old braid right in the middle there and have it hang to the
that made me think of people, but I'm not naming names.
Joey, all pull out our scrolls.
But I also want to say about the thing about Robin really playing up the Barbie, the whiteness, the debased Juan. It's like, yes, you know, Juan.
Did you say the debased Juan, as in the debased?
How many puns can we make with this man's name?
Debased.
What a Karen
I'm next to my
wanting around the world. Wandering.
Juan was wandering. So yes, he had a hard childhood, whatever, but it's like his aunt was the mayor of Baltimore. Like, they're acting like he's like, I mean, whatever, but it's just like, are you fucking kidding me?
No, I get it. Exactly. Like, just for the sake of ease of narrative, it's like, Juan is a nothing, nobody, and Robin is an and they're probably both invested in that story. Like,
but I only brought that up to say that when she's wearing that fucking outfit, she's trying to relive the Barbie days.
That's what she's trying to relive, the Barbie days. Thank you, Katherine, for bringing us home and for making Robin tackiest outfit award.
That's the context. We look at that outfit and we say, why would someone be wearing that outfit? But she did have her glory days, and she thinks she's just
once.
And as Robin relayed to Giselle in their brief exchanges episode, the story is not going to change. So, in order to reinforce the story, she says,
narrative.
No, Juan did not have sex with that woman. That Juan was not inappropriate. He wants me. I'm going to put on that's for pickleball.
Another piece of detail to corroborate this account, when she says, Coach, whatever the coach is who Juan is clearly sleeping with, we in fact look alike.
Oh gosh.
It's like, that woman is a decade younger than you.
Yes. You, her, and Karen, triplets.
Oh dear God.
Ooh.
Okay, what else happened in pickleball?
Right. Oh, okay. I think actually we should just like name the, like, not all of the events, but like, we need to talk about the way Wendy has dealt with this attack. That's really the main topic. And we need to criticize Nneka's ongoing like, we've said some stuff about it, but there's more to be said.
Yeah. There was a level of like rabidity in NECA's like eagerness to put it on the table and
Yes.
throw it at her like shots. And it's
Exactly.
like, girl,
That is her whole energy on this show.
Yeah, desperation, thirst. Okay. So just to recall, like Giselle gets there first, has a cute little and quick exchange. Not Giselle's not cute. That's not what I mean. I mean Ray and Karen are cute, and
Mr. and
Giselle has a
Mrs.
little.
Pickle.
It was normal. Oh, look at us. We're all wearing our little outfits, doing our little
Mr. and Mrs. Pickle.
Mr. and Mrs. Pickle. We need more Ray. Okay, anyway.
Yes. King Ray.
Then I don't know who gets there next. Oh, Mia and G, and Kristen pointed out that they arrive in separate cars, presaging the end of the marriage.
A devolution is underway.
Okay, good. I will say Mia's outfit, the winningest outfit of the episode.
I forgot.
I know it's just a white jacket
white.
with a white tennis skirt, but it worked. It worked.
It was the same as Giselle's. Not the same, but it was the same genre.
Giselle looked like
they didn't wear it the same.
Giselle looked like one of the pickleball seniors, actually.
Well,
like one of
some
Ray's
people
seniors.
are older than others. I will just say that.
That's true. But if they're over here talking about, I'm still the baddest thing walking, and then don't wear a cable knit sweater, Grandma, when your neck is already on Front Street. Everybody is checking for your neck and its age. Okay,
That's true.
Try not to wear a cable knit sweater and further age yourself.
Well, if she's gonna go for the sweater, maybe the turtleneck, maybe the scarf. But okay.
Okay, those are options.
She gets second place in worst dressed award.
Yes, please. Who comes in next? Okay, Mia. Candace comes in next. Probably NECA and Ikenna come in. NECA's wearing that weird. Okay, we don't need to go there. We have enough to say about her. But then Candace comes without Chris, unfortunately.
Yeah, got the time wrong. Been there.
Wendy and Eddie come looking ridiculous, if you ask me. I don't like their.
Oh, really?
I didn't like the pink coordination.
Oh, that's right. With just the pink accessories.
I didn't like that at all.
And it's very awkward because the teams have already been divided, and NECA goes to Mia. This is a fit. Okay, I see you. And then with Wendy, she's like, hey. And Wendy's like, oh, hey, girl. It's like the animosity is clearly there.
And he
so
says,
you can't
hey, girl.
deny it.
Wendy goes, hey, girl, and then paints a face of smiling over what you know is a more robust emotional landscape. So she's like, hey, I want to look like I don't care and I'm engaged in the game, but why is my face still painted this way?
No, but I mean, the convention would be to greet her meaningfully. Anyway, she's a new housewife. So if you actually didn't have a problem with her, you would have said,
do the little hug.
Oh, hey. And of course, she gave her less of a greeting because they both know what's going on. But I would argue it's kind of on Wendy, if she wants to perform disaffection or disinterest, or just like, I don't know this woman. And because she has seniority, to be like, hey, like, you don't reach for a hug if she didn't come close to you, but like, you know, you might you were about to ignore her and you only said hi to her because she said hi to you.
Wendy doesn't know what she wants to perform. That's the problem. She's looking around. She's clamoring like, who am I here? I'm not sure.
Who am I here? Lacking conviction.
And she's clamoring because I think she still doesn't want to demote Ashley in her like esteem of friends. Like, I think Wendy is uncertain because Ashley just brought up this idea that NECA was talking about her, but then takes it back. And so it's like, well, should I believe Ashley? Should I not believe Ashley? Is NECA my friend? Is she talking about me? It's like, no, you should be able to read Ashley as the setup chick, shit starter that she is, and like, go check it out for yourself. Like, so far.
But what if before Ashley ran that story to Wendy already suspected there was a Nigerian woman joining the cast who was coming for her neck, because that's what I believe actually is happening.
Or it could only be interpreted as she's coming for her neck, no matter who she was.
No, it's not fair to say that, but Wendy is a 3, competition is already there. So there's a little bit of a basis for that. But I do suspect there was like the connection between their families was activated. Yeah. Wendy knew NECA was coming on the show. And very probably, NECA was clocked as talking shit about Wendy as
Yes.
the basis for her joining the cast. Wendy had reason to suspect there was a plot being cooked up by Giselle, Robin, Ashley, and NECA
Mhm.
before Ashley ran her any story. I do believe that's probably what was happening, because
For
at the
sure.
barbecue,
Her greeting
Wendy goes, it's like, you're both Nigerian. Wendy goes, ah, very fake moment. Very fake moment. She did not mean that high five. It was
Mhm.
fake. She already knew about her by then.
Yes. No, she definitely did. Their families are,
Connected, at least.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I think that's part of the like basis of Wendy's just like, you know, frazzled SpongeBob meme, like dislocation, disorientation, because if that's true, she's already said, I don't know her, but she does know.
And you remember
Yeah.
the producers ask her that during the barbecue. They say, "Oh, have you met her before?" And she goes, I met her twice. You know, like when she goes,
Yes.
we have encountered each other in passing. That'll be what I say, which
Yep.
means she's rifling through encounters at the very least.
And it's
Mhm.
interesting too, thinking about Wendy and Ashley, how, you know, threes usually they need stronger personalities or presences to kind of, where are the goalposts? What is like to define what the space calls for? Who should I be here? And the way that Ashley keeps switching it up, Wendy doesn't know, but she's not yet, I feel like, willing to say, she's not at the place where she's like, oh, like Ashley is a big problem here, you know?
Okay, in light of that, who do you think Wendy has been looking to as the stronger type? And like, would you say that about last season? Like, I'm very interested in that idea that the three is looking for who's the big dog boss here. I do believe that sounds right to me. But who will Wendy have historically put that on? She doesn't regard Candace that way. I think you can see that. Like,
Yeah.
she's kind
But
of
I
doing
think
like,
that
sister, we're on par, or you're my younger sister with her.
she's been struggling looking for that. And she does appreciate Candace and Ashley, not to say Ashley has big dog energy, but she has a presence, she has a direction, and this is what I want to do. Let's go have fun, you know?
Mhm.
And so she will get carried away or like be excited to be in these situations with these people, but doesn't have that solid, you know, she would be happy to be, you know, the Robin to someone's Giselle, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Giselle for her, and it's an easy thing to like disidentify, write her off. But maybe they're like, it's not enough to say no. You have to still look for somebody to say yes to, and she doesn't have that consistently.
Yes, I think she probably, I mean, not her particularly, but the three particularly need somebody to say yes to. Like, they can have a no, but if it's them versus the person who they're not meeting over there, like, that's too much pressure on them to like be the opponent, you know, and they need
Mhm.
affirmation. They like, the opponent has to be always ready for a fight, right? Like,
What
that's
if
the
it's
eighth
Karen?
job.
What if it's Karen? Is it Karen? The
I
other
think
three?
it's Karen. That's what yeah.
Oh,
I think it has been
yes.
Karen. I think it has been Karen,
Yes.
but it's not Karen this season, but it was Karen in previous seasons.
That's actually true. I agree with that.
Mm.
Okay, well, let's also talk about Karen. Karen, I am appreciating, there are so many reality shows that are just meandering, you know?
Mhm.
But and it calls for when the producer is not producing or when the producer like Eric is up to his dirty tricks. I feel like
Damn it.
somebody needs to step in. You need a strong cast member to say like, no, I'm going to ensure that we have a next season. Like, I'm trying to get renewed. And Karen is trying to get renewed, and that's what she did. So let me just say that. Okay.
Yeah, no, that is an incredibly important point to make. And if you're watching RHOP producers, give Karen EP creds. Frankly,
Yes.
yeah, give Karen EP creds. Period.
And EP
Period.
salary. Or no, she
And
probably
EP
gets
salary. Yeah. No, give
little
her all the
bump.
money. Give her the money. Give her the fucking money. Why not? You're exploiting the fuck out of all of them. You might as well get Karen paid.
Okay,
So
but
is it time?
So Wendy was already on thin ice
This is
with
the win thing.
herself.
I
Everybody hides behind covers. And then they sit down after Karen kind of offers a benediction and explains her reasons for
Wait,
everybody together.
wait, Karen's benediction and Robin and Juan's response to the goddamn benediction.
So unnecessary. Like, girl, Karen is saying something at least that appears to be kind and gathering. Like, why are you? Don't say my name. Why is she saying my name?
Well, that's the thing. They didn't even listen to what she said. As soon as she said, me and Robin, already Robin was talking over her. Da, 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 da.
But
Exactly,
and we're feeding each other, like feeding each other's energy. Of
So
no.
they didn't feed each other any food. That's a little too romantic for them.
A little
He
too
doesn't like-
close.
she discussed him, so they don't eat together.
And I will say that Robin, I'm not surprised she did that. Like,
Yeah.
she can be so annoying sometimes, you know? Like, besides just like repulsive, like, let's call like this era for her Robin's repulsive era. Cause you just are like, I can't countenance how stupid you look. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. But Juan, I'm like, Juan, you disrespectful. Cause frankly, nothing is more triggering to me than a man who is just like lit to disrespect a woman the way
Yeah.
that I feel. Cause it's like Karen's talking and he's like, who gonna follow me? Ikenna, I know you thirsty. Let's go. And he's like, Ikenna, get the ball. Get 2 balls, please.
Mhm.
That's what he says after he's walked off already. And it's like, and if Ikenna's like, okay.
Yeah, no, he made a
But
show of it.
why is he disrespecting Karen? The other men, thankfully, on their best behaviors are like, I mean, we know that eventually we tend to bow out because the show is for these women. But if she's just doing a benediction, as Katherine put it, can you fucking hang out and just let her finish talking? Like, just
No, he's too on
respect.
edge.
She's your elder.
Mm.
She's your elder. You're such a hater. You're such a fucking hater, man. Like, I don't know. Just like slap that boy in his face.
Well, he and Robin, I mean, as much as like we're saying their relationship is deteriorating, they're also like closest when they have like a common
Touche.
enemy.
Touche.
And so on that point, it was like, finally, we're in sync again. Fuck Karen.
Yeah, yeah.
By saying they were feeding each other, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, as soon as like Juan gets up, then Robin gets to say with her chest,
Mhm,
give it. Why are you talking about me? It's like
Yeah.
y'all are reacting together.
Yeah, yeah. And this reminds me of 2 episodes ago. Like, this is what I wonder if this is additional evidence to suggest Juan is a 6, Robin is a 5.
Yes.
Because
yeah. Go.
you do? You agree?
I'm
Just
sold.
because Juan is like, like, you know, like, I don't know how to describe it with the 6 in terms that make sense here per se, but kind of just like the 6's rejection of authority. Like, you know, they're either clamoring for authority or they're rejecting authority, right? So it's like, and I think a 5 in general is enlivened by a persona who is just like actually opposed to authority and who's actually is self-assured, because the 6's thing is just like
Right.
constantly doubting themselves, right? So it's like when Juan is like, okay, then Robin is lit to be like, yeah, I'm a bad girl.
Right.
Like, you know,
Juan
so I
helps
think
her feel agential in that moment.
exactly. Agential and like courageous enough to go against convention or the norms or like what is proper. I think so. Yeah.
Because an unhinged man 6 can often be mistaken for an 8 because it's the lashing out.
Sorry. No, for real. Okay. So then they're like, so what's the deal with you and NECA, Wendy? And it's like, I don't even know what happens first, but it's quite quickly after this conversation takes off, Wendy mimics NECA. NECA's like, I don't know her to have a problem with her. Wendy's, I don't know her to have a problem with her. So you're copying me.
Oh, it was so sad because it was like Wendy was trying to get on the same page with what is she going to say about me, and she didn't realize.
She was looking for her to go first.
Yeah,
she just mirrored her. A key
suddenly
for 3.
Verbatim. Oh, then I just copied you.
Oh, so hard to watch. So hard to
And it's
watch.
like the three that's good at their job mirrors in a. I'm never that convinced by a three's mirroring. I know Katherine is like lit for some like the best three has not yet ever convinced me that they're not just mirroring somebody else. You know, and I'm so triggered by that as a not me 8. I'm just like, girl, she said that already. Girl, stop being her for clout. Like
You would say she said that already. Meanwhile, I'm like heartbroken. I'm like, oh, don't say it.
No, I am too because I'm rooting for Wendy. I'm heartbroken. Under normal circumstances, I'm just like, they'll go with 3.
Oh my
But-
gosh. No, that was horrible.
Ooh.
And that was so, I mean, it was mean to, oh, did you just copy me? Da, 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 da.
And
But then,
but when she says it, but NECA says it to Ashley, like she was copying me, right? And it's like it's an occasion for NECA to garner a small win, and Ashley's like,
mhm.
And she still needs the validation of Ashley, right? If she has to ask her, it's like, yeah, she was copying you.
Yeah, obviously, we're all hearing she literally said what
we
you
heard it, girl.
just said.
It was sad. We win. It's okay. It's established.
Enough.
she needs to savor it.
Okay, but then Kristen, say what else NECA said.
I can't remember. I mean, it just escalates so strongly, but she's like telling her about her. It's funny because NECA's like, you're talking about me because your sister-in-law came to my cousin-in-law and blah, blah, blah. And then Wendy's like, that wasn't me. You said it was me. Like, get the story straight. And that's when NECA goes, bitch, don't tell me what she said. Like, she just calls her
Was
bitch.
that before or after? By the way, Wendy was wrong. NECA did say it right from the beginning. I didn't take Ashley's word for it. I rewinded it.
I rewatched it too.
Said it.
I rewatched it too, and there was like some small thing that I felt like I could interpret error in judgment from Wendy, where she was like, it was like, I can't remember it now.
But it was an innocent error in judgment.
Yeah, like it, and it's an error that you would make when you're defensive and scared. Because,
yeah.
you know,
that's
like,
that's what's a little less innocent about it. It's like I'm not saying defensiveness is not innocent. I'm just saying like there's defensiveness with mustard for Wendy, right? Because she has something to also hide while she's being defensive. She has to settle her story for herself, just to keep it straight, and she has to protect herself against the ugly encroachments of this woman, this thirsty pick-me.
Right. It was actually very, I mean, as many housewives fights that I've seen, and you know, on Real Housewives of New Jersey, they be flipping tables. I still feel like
Jersey.
the way NECA called Wendy a bitch,
it raised the
was
stakes.
like,
yeah, turned all the way the fuck up.
Yeah, like I felt like it was above and beyond. Like,
and
it
I was
wasn't
like,
a
I thought you were going for Valley Girl. I thought you were going for like Dipsy, and then to watch you go, it's like, ooh.
But then she tried to run it back later and be like, but I don't even have a problem with her.
Or just later generally disavowing the whole energy she brought to the thing, right? Like, this is stupid. I'm not aggressive like them. Like, enough. No,
Yes.
you said it with your chest the first time.
Your chest.
Deep
Follow through.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. And then I don't know if you caught her. She also said, I don't even want to be like this. She said, like, she said that.
That's why I said, yes. That's what reminded me of the Valley Girl. Like, I don't even want to be like this. I'm going for like white, innocent, ditzy Valley Girl.
Yep. She caught herself or heard herself sounding mad brolic. I was like, no, I know that's not my shtick. Okay. It's white.
Which is why, once again, Wendy wears the pants and the skirt. Okay. Because brolic is too much like masculine, right? And this is from a brolic broad. We all know the stereotypes and the reputation. And also, you know, let's recall what last episode when we meet her, or is that the episode before, where she's just like, I wake up, have some champagne, take my like prenatals. Yeah. She's going for Paris Hilton.
Yes, champagne first thing, last thing.
Small dog, drinking a lot, being an idiot. She's going for Paris Hilton.
Yep. Yeah.
taken care of by a doctor who don't even be there. You know, like that's part of the narrative. Like
we have to link up our schedules. What about quality time or just okay? Yeah, and the thirst to have a baby. I know NECA so fucking well. She's actually a dime a dozen. She's like who we don't want to claim in Jersey. You know, like there are tropes of people in Jersey. Like she is a trope. She's familiar to me as a trope, but it's not the one we want to put forward as what we're bringing to the table. You know what I mean? Like that, like the level of thirst around having a baby, because it's kind of just like, what else? Like your husband's not there. You sure you want to have a baby before he like reestablishes himself and his job on that coast? Because like, are you gonna need help with the like? We don't know much about you. She's like, I need a quick fix. Like that's where the thirst level comes. Quick fix for pregnancy, like.
Okay, but I also like one of the things that stood out to me was not only her behavior. What made me wince more?
I know what you're
the reactions. The reactions of who? Robin, Giselle, Ashley. The way and Mia. I'm not even talking about, let's not even get into the words of what they said. I'm not even talking about what they said. But when they just went to their faces and they're like, oh, what? They're like shocked. Some people who have not emoted in 8 seasons, Robin, are now like aghast.
Like, you know? Ashley, she didn't tell her. She didn't get to say it. Like, you know, she's doing that to send Ashley to go, like she's hoping Ashley will be her mouthpiece.
Yes. I don't like
and she's trying to secure some credibility, because the first thing she says to Ashley is, NECA told me all of this at lunch last week. Okay, she didn't even let her say the rest. No, I know the rest of the story.
It's like actually the full idiotic fucking story did get out. But Katherine, I just real quick, among the people you named, you forgot Karen.
Yeah,
because unfortunately Karen does take on a very ugly moment. It's small, but I don't want to leave her out in the interest of just protecting her, because we otherwise fuck with her, where she's just like, and the shrine is voodoo, right? It's like,
yes.
Of course, Giselle's also, by the way, everyone, I thought Giselle was from Nolan's, which is none other than North America's Haiti. Okay. It's none other than North America's Haiti. Voodoo was literally born in New Orleans, okay?
But like, remember, she's born again through her marriage to Pastor Jamal. She says, I know.
And that's the relevant piece of info, right? Like, I am the wife of, former first lady of the church.
Still claiming it.
But then you should know about shrines, which are religious phenomena across the spectrum.
Yep.
When she brought up the former first lady thing, it really made me think, and this is just like, what was that even like for her? Like, who was Giselle Bryant back then, you know?
She probably well suited to a church hierarchy, like a gossipy little world where she could be the queen and they could be the sorry people, you know?
Yeah, and Sunday was fashion show for her, you know, like
tack day.
Right. And she was probably her like goofy self, her like, Giselle has masculine energy too, as an 8 does. And she, she might sit poised, but then otherwise go, hey! Like, Giselle sells that persona because she thinks it's compelling. And in some cases it is, but you can't be evil. You can't be evil or it doesn't work.
So poor Wendy was just so anxious, and it's like, I feel like it's like, again, the failure of her character arc is like having to be the assailed one all the time means that like the audience comes to your defense without having adequate space to critique you. Because when Wendy ran to Mia in the second round of the fight and was like, no, I want to talk to her. Come here, me. Girl, no.
And then Robin names it aptly. Deflection. Like avoidance. she
don't
was just
wanna
like,
give it.
I need to shore up an ally because the tables have turned too much. And of course, that's not fair. She's the victim of a gangbang, as Karen would have it, right? Like, of course, she's gonna get desperate, but I need her to be able to stand on her own, or to stand like she doesn't even believe in her allies. Candace, Kiana, like Vivian, Karen's friend Vivian, that's a Nigerian woman, y'all. That's a Nigerian woman. Like have faith in your friends that somebody is going, like your man is here. Like, come on, please don't get so desperate.
He had a whole team.
How did she go to Mia, y'all? Why did she literally was just like narrow vision and saw Mia and was just like, why would she go to her?
Well, to the point of why would she go to her? When Robin said, oh, she's just deflecting, I was like, well, there must be something legitimate she's going to say, because why would she go to her? You know?
Doesn't.
And
she
it was
doesn't
just
even remember that she had just called her slow last week. And
it was horrible. It was embarrassing. It was clownish.
Well, the reason why she would go to her is because she was trying to escape.
Right.
She was trying to shore up an ally among the enemy camp. And she was trying to make it seem like I am not just someone who has problems. And it's like, Wendy, that means you drank the Kool-Aid. If you think you need to defend yourself against these assailants, like you are just cooking up trouble among people for no reason, that's not true. But what that suggests is that I have to say, y'all, I do believe it suggests she feels insecure, made insecure by Nneka's presence. She feels responsible also for that conflict with Nneka. It's not all on Nneka. Nneka is the more tragic figure. Frankly, she can't be. It's almost why it's not worth talking about. It's like, girl, you are the whitest. Like, you know how sometimes it's just like we're not gonna breathe life into you. There's no hope for you. You already invested all of your energies in this, like pursuing this image of whiteness. Like
she's dead.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? There's no bringing you back from where you done crossed over. But so for Wendy, it's kind of like, baby, please, we want better for you. Like,
it's hard, you know. I feel like
Wendy's tether.
Okay, but speaking of Jordan Peele, is that his name?
Yes.
Jordan Peele. Okay. This bitch said Eddie is like,
bitch, do you hear yourself?
Eddie is giving me get out.
No, that was sickening. That was sickening.
Do you know what the premise of? Did you watch that movie? I'm sorry. I know that's not nice to yell in the viewer's ear. I'm sorry. What do you think Get Out was about, bitch? It's about your life. It's about Black people caught up in white investments that don't realize those white investments are killing them. Yeah. You think that's Eddie? That's not Eddie, baby. That's not Eddie. I'm sorry. If we could say to some extent white investments get imposed on Black people, like I wrote my dissertation about it, okay? I would argue we are all ensnared in a prison of white investments, but some of us are buying them more than others, okay? That's right. Then if there's a spectrum, it's not Eddie who you need to direct that attention to. Look in the goddamn mirror. If anybody is in the cast of if anybody is trapped in the white suburb, the object of white people's fetishism, of their negrophilia, shout out to Frank Wilderson, it is you, my friend. Okay, Friends went on before Frank Wilderson, but it is you, Nneka. It is you. How dare she say that about Eddie? That means in that story, Wendy is the white one.
She can't sustain it.
Scramble a powerful narrative of resistance against white supremacy. Get Out was a gift. Okay. And then you want to scramble the meaning of it by invoking it in this. No, nothing is more triggering to me than that. B-word, you know what that movie was trying to say. And you want to try and she's gaslighting us.
She is.
I mean, Nneka, you're the one who wakes up at 9 a.m. drinking champagne to like fucking disidentify with the life choices you're invested in. Like, listen, how are you coping with the nasty life you've decided to pursue the course of? Are you serious?
Y'all Okay, let's consider that. Let's track if she like Ashley has been using alcohol to cope with her, anti-black investments.
Or you know who else was doing that? Monique. You remember that was the
Yeah.
storyline when she was
Ugh,
drinking?
yes,
Okay,
that's a common
that
storyline on this show.
let's write that down because we need to talk about that. I actually have another a slightly different theory about Monique and her drinking, but I bet it's okay. Anyway.
Oh, let's do that off the show. I'm around this episode out with a shout out to J Henley Brown _. Okay. No, because she did a little TikTok. We'll link it in the description about how, the cast needs to be scrapped, save for Candace and
the Grand Dame.
Yes,
the Grand Dame.
Because
The
this,
Hebrew
I mean, we
institution.
talked about that whole pickleball, and we did talk about this in terms of Wendy and NECA, when it's like they barely said hi, but at least they said hi. Half the cast doesn't speak to the other half.
Yeah.
People walk in. It's like, this is not the basis for a show.
Yeah. And that's where your mistake. You think you're powerful enough, by the way, to ice people out. Like, you can't even Candace's haters. I mean, they won't admit it because they're fucking haters, but it's like the rich reads of that woman, the one person standing on like, oh, I'm brown and I will not pander to this, like the force of resistance that Candace brings to this otherwise like incredibly anti-black light-skinned brigade. No, nobody's watching the show for like you people barely got off the rails first season bringing too much of that mess. That's why they had to bring Monique. That's why they had to bring Candace. And then they followed suit with Wendy.
Yes.
Okay.
No one just wants to watch you.
Yeah. Be anti-black. Like nobody, no, because at the end of the day, there is no more powerful group of resistors to white supremacist brutality than Black people. Okay. Even though we have this prison of white supremacist investments imposed on us, we are the strongest force of resistance against that in the world. That's right. I said it. And a lot of POC would agree. Okay. A lot of POC. Shout out to my POC man. Okay. He would also agree. It is true. That's why everybody emulates us. So frankly, Robin and Giselle, they're not on an island. Okay. We're all in the same prison, but they're in solitary. Most Black people do not get down with that level of heavy-handed anti-Blackness.
Yes. Yes.
No.
It's heavy-handed. It's way too heavy-handed.
Just
and it's like Giselle, it's nasty for you to sit up here and like ice a whole half of the cast out, because it's like you're not sitting on principle. So you actually look stupid. You are the one who has agreed them consistently, and because they won't back down and will call you out and name you for the nasty one you are, then you have to try to posture yourself like you've been offended. Are you crazy?
You literally described a narcissistic bully just then. You literally described a narcissistic bully.
That's
you do the tormenting, and then when your victims fight back, now you mad.
No, you mad. How did that work? It's and then I have no reason to speak to Candace ever. Giselle says,
"Yeah, play the tape.
Shut up, because she won't have you. B word.
Yeah, literally.
She won't hold an audience with you. That's why.
Yeah, literally, that's what it is. She said, "Fuck that B word forever." And speaking of which, we're going to take that up in a future segment, right? Like, I really actually want to dig deep into this idea of fuck that B word forever, because while among the viewers may be clutching their pearls at the level of profanity and the level of finality implied by fuck that bitch forever, I would argue it's a dominant strategy in our contemporary world. And I would like us to discuss, the merits and the shortcomings of it.
Yes. And I think some viewers might be clutching their pearls. I think other viewers, might be like me. They felt a great sense of catharsis when she said that. I think a lot
have that posture adopted ourselves.
All right. Well, on that note.
Oh my God. Can we end?
One more thing to say. Yeah.
Can we end the note on a key moment from Mia? Okay, because
Oh, she's paused.
Hey.
No, it said end video.
Yeah, the video was like, no, we cannot actually. Dang.
We told you.
I was so ready to hear what Mia's offering. was gonna
But
be.
that's so true. Because Mia needs her flowers, you know, like just because someone's a
Taking
bad
it too
actor.
far now. I'm still not. I'm down to hear it out, but I'm not with it yet.
I'm not a Mia fan, but I'm just actually very shocked that like there could be anything she says that I don't actually wince at. Like first season, I don't know. And then last season, yeah, okay, this season it just hasn't gotten into her much, so I haven't been so disgusted. That's what it is.
I think I stay disgusted on her. Maybe it's a fuck that bitch forever kind of thing. No, it's not that strong. It's not that strong.
okay, what is weird about this technology is that I'm also still here in the room.
Oh, you could hear us that whole time?
I could hear y'all like until I hung up or whatever. I like reloaded, but now I can see my face is also
Yeah,
still here.
You
Yeah,
hung up
oh
the
yeah, your
other-
face is.
You hung up the other device?
Oh,
I
she's
don't
leaving.
have another device connected.
That's
Yo,
your
they're watching
current.
us. They're watching us. Okay,
Yeah,
obviously they're
I'm
watching
literally
us.
being watched.
Obviously they're watching us. Okay, I just removed that girl, whoever she was.
Fuck her.
Masquerading as
Never
a
want to
homo.
see her again.
Okay, the only just real quick because apparently we're still recording. The like thing I wanted to raise that Wendy said is like, what did she say? She's like, they're talking about Wendy's mom, which okay. We need to
There's so much
address
we didn't
that
even
on
get
the
into.
side. But they're
Yeah.
talking about Wendy's mom, and Mia goes, I'm not gonna say anything against her mom. I don't want her to. What did she say? I don't want her to prey on me and send me back.
Send me back out of the cast? Is that what she meant?
She went back to
No.
hell. She went back to hell where she came from.
Send me
Well,
back.
I was wondering when she said send me back, I was like, back where? Like back off the show, back to the strip club? Like back where?
Okay, it could be the strip club. Go ahead. The strip club might also be a euphemism for hell. Or
That's
vice versa.
funny.